Right. These are days after the strike now. We have seen people running around with things without a solution. As I say, you can run, you can make noise, but making noise doesn't bring influence. Being influential is the major key in the nation of Zimbabwe. I'm not criticizing what the opposition leader did, but it was his democratic right. But they would have also followed the law of Zimbabwe, as I always say. Let us not just jump into something because somebody who is famous have done it. I've seen is the same major mistake which is happening in a lot of countries. Even in the European countries, we are witnessing the same, whereby people leave the policy aside and actually follow the popularism. That is what is happening. If you check even the president of the United States of America, the current president of France, the the opposition president of Venezuela, you could see these people have came through populism. But if you check at the policy, do they have a policy? That is what we need. With the same way, if you do, I like the Bible says, whoever have had the life of a sword would die with a sword. If you do not witness to that, it's going to be the same problem. You see, if you take out the whoever who is leading you, whether it's in the church or it's in the house or it's any of the domestics, it is the same way you did it. If you do it in a cruel way, you are going to be removed in a cruel way. If you did it nicely, you're going to be removed nicely. That's why I was emphasizing on the issue of dialogue between the two leaders in our nation. But the more we actually criticize and think that dialogue is not the way forward, is the more we're going to have problems in our nation. This is what I've realized in both the ruling and the opposition. Remember, I want to speak something which is inclusive, which involve everybody mostly. If you check in our nation today, the nation of Zimbabwe, it is having a problem because there's something which you're overlooking. There's something which you're not actually considering. The people of Zimbabwe are the people who have actually neglected their nation. As I say, if you check in the book of Jeremiah, it shows that the children of Israel were actually told to partake even in the land which they are. As I said last time, we must be involved in the situation of Zimbabwe for the upbringing of our nation and rebuilding it. But the more we continue fighting and the more we continue criticizing one another and not upbuilding the nation, remember, whatever you're vandalizing now and whatever you're destroying now, whatever impression you are giving to the foreign nation now, it's not going to be blotted off instantly. It's something which is going to take time to be blotted off or taken off. So the more we bring a bad image to our nation, is the more people will have doubt towards us. Like now, currently, we cannot get even investors, because if you check even on social media, there are cowards on the social media. If you check in our political arena, there are cowards, and the individuals who actually still in the domestic land of our native land, they are also cowards, and those who are in the foreign states, they are also cowards. As I said last time, the more we fight one another, the more we do not actually embrace the issue of rebuilding our nation, is the more we're going to have problems. Let us contribute towards our nation. Whoever is having money, if you have a little token, let's sit down, let's open organization, let's open social organization which can actually rebuild our nation. As you see that there's no medication, there's no electricity, there's no water in the nation. Our educational system is actually being affected. This is the influence which is needed to the people of Zimbabwe. Let's contribute towards our nation. Let's just not look who is leading. I always tell people, do not hate the messenger because of the message. Mnangagwa might be a messenger. He have just passed only. You have been brought to God to bring a certain message towards us. But the more we criticize him and do not listen to what God is saying to us, is the more we are actually destroying our nation. I'm not saying you must actually shun out Nelson Chamisa, but I'm saying for now, could we really know that it's not easy to take off that man from that seat? Let's wait until God's time have actually come. We cannot do it with our own hands. We cannot actually use our own hands to take him off. You see, let us not be cowards. You see, the Bible is very clear. If you read in the book of Revelation chapter 21 verse 8, it says, for the cowards, they will never enter heaven. So if you continue having that mentality of being cowards as Zimbabweans, is the more fight, is the more loss you are going to have as Zimbabweans. Look at the people in our leadership. Look what have happened recently. There was a strike. If you want to see if really that Zimbabweans are coward, look, there was a strike which was called, or it was called off, but people had to meet. But some of them, they were just talking, but they were not even to be found in the position. I'm not supporting the strike, but I'm saying I just want to show both the ruler and the opposition how cowards are in Zimbabwe. Look at even what is happening in our nation. People, so there's some people who have money who on social media flashing money. I've got these millions, I've bought this car, I'm doing this, I've done that. They're just sitting and watching while the nation is actually being destroyed. That is cowardness. You see, if we continue having cowards, if we continue calling ourselves a Christian nation and then we have got cowards in, cowards doesn't inherit heaven. I don't want to lie to you. Cowards do not inherit heaven. Look what is happening to some ZANU-PF members who have been arrested. Look how the country is actually suffering, and they're still stealing money. They're still being corrupt. It's an embarrassment to a state which is actually suffering. You see, that is cowardness again. If you look at that, that's why I was saying, us as Christians, let us embrace these seats of politics. Let us join this politics. Let us be involved in politics. If we're involved in politics, it's for the betterness of our nation. Join both ZANU-PF and MDC, as I said. You Christians, rather than murmuring and complaining while you're just sitting from a distance and saying that these people are stealing, these people are lying. Which politician have ever told you the truth? Look even at our current president. He even lied on the point blank of on our eyes that the investors who are coming, there's there's this. These are things which are actually, they are politicians. I do not blame them. Look at Nelson Chamisa. He said also he met the president of the United States before the election, and he denied it clearly on BBC. These are the things which I say, let us not entrust the politics, because politicians, they are there to lie to us. They are not there to actually bring something which is actually of noble to us. So us as Christians, I don't want to lie to you guys. Let us be involved. Let's build this nation. Let us actually let us not be cowards. You're not a coward, I know. I'm not a coward also. I'm saying let us sit down. Let us have associations, especially in South Africa. Look what is happening now. People are tired of seeing us as foreigners here in their land, in their native land. They want us to go. They are fighting each and every foreign national. You could see it on the social media. You could see it in the news nowadays. We have been fought here in South Africa, but it's not happening everywhere. It's happening also there in Johannesburg. To some of the people who could find their, even some of them, they are going to churches and they call themselves Christians. Or at least they are cowards. Cowardness is there. Let us not trust these politicians. Let us not entrust them. Let us trust in God. God is the one who brings the solution. Do you think Mnangagwa and Chamisa will solve the problems in Zimbabwe? Who is strong? Who is actually more important? Who is powerful? Who is omnipresent? Are they omnipresent? It's only God who is omnipresent. The more you continue fighting and thinking that they are going to bring change and forgot that there's God who have actually created and brought us here on earth, is the more you're going to have problems. Turn your mind, you foolish Zimbabweans. We have bewitched you. The same like Galatians. We have bewitched you. Why do you forget God? Why do you forget that God is the one who fought for you and the one who have delivered you? Do you think those people will deliver you? They will never deliver you. I want to tell you. This is the truth I'm telling you. It's a naked truth. Whether you do not like it or like it, continue entrusting in politicians. Continue entrusting in them. Other than the judiciary, what the Bible says about the judiciary, they will take you to courts and there's no solution in court. I don't want to lie to you. Let's wait for God's time. Let's wait. God must actually be the solution to the problem which you have in Zimbabwe, not individuals. Listen to me. If you don't want to listen, you continue being in the same situation. God bless you.